Hey guys, I'm here today with the RGT for the second day of owning it. This thing has been it's really impressed me. I've always have like 16th scale rigs, but they're very few and far between because of their size. They're just a little bit bigger than 18, and you can just about climb over stuff a 10th scale can do. And I always like the looks of a 16th scale. But I'm really digging this with the white rims and stuff. It does look good. Now what I did is I noticed the body would make a lot of noise when I drove over bumps and stuff, and so I kind of fixed a lot of that noise. And let me show you what I did. Let me turn this thing around here. So the wires will be on the other side. There is that really cool Hobby Wing ESC. Overlooked the dirt on it. I had drove this thing a lot this morning and it started raining really bad. I got a 1500 milliamp hour 2S LiPo on there. You guys probably recognize that if you own any WL toys. I also let me show you the things I did first. I had those body washers that a lot of people use that came with my Traxxas Slash, the white body washers. Well, I had two-sided tape I used and put them on one side of it, and the other side I had sticky foam that I had to cut, and I used the hole cutter that I have and just bored out the very center, so I didn't have anything left to block my pins or my body post from going through. And so now it's got, you know, a thicker, plus it's foam, so you can press down on it and get a little bit of slack. But that foam also works as a support to padding it, so it doesn't make that slamming, sloppy noise that it was making before. I've done this before with a few of my rigs, and it seemed to work out. Every time I've ever done it, it's always helped. So that's just food for thought. If you guys have a problem with, I don't like noises from vibrations on any of my rigs, so I try to avoid doing that. So this is a good solution to a lot of it. Also, I had a spare heatsink, and this motor does get kind of warm if I run it for a long period of time. I did run it for over almost 2 hours yesterday, and it was getting pretty warm, so threw the heatsink on there, and that seems to help out a whole lot. It very much dissipates a lot of the heat, and definitely takes care of the problems I was having with the heat. And overall, this has been a really great rig. And like I was saying, my last video, put these pins in here on each one of the shocks that comes with the rig, and you can put a couple extra if you put bigger tires on. I recommend putting those on. I didn't do anything else to it with those, and also with these body mounts like this, it raised the body up just a little bit, just enough to where it doesn't even hardly scrub at all, and I'm very pleased with that. So I just wanted to show you what I did there. And let me put this back together. And it goes together nice and smooth. And the body pins, I don't know if you've seen these before, but these little black posts, they came off of a silver larger pin that I had, and I just took a pair of pliers, held onto it, and just pulled them right off of those pins. And these are the original body pins that came with this one, and I just slid them right on it, and it makes it so much easier to deal with, to have to put them in place and to pull them off, because they're a very small pin. And now it's very snug, tight fit, the body is, with the way I did those washers and foam. It got rid of probably about 90% of the body noise I was having. It is so much better. You can hear that noise on my last video. If you guys watched it yesterday that I made, you can hear the body got kind of slapping around. Let me get this last pin in there. It's not wanting to cooperate. I don't think I'm hitting it right. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's just a whole lot more snug. There's hardly any slapping noise at all. I really like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick little run with it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you learned something. And I've gotten a little more familiar with the rig. It is very jumpy. I mean, you can barely move the throttle, and I mean, it'll crawl nice and slow. But from that to that is a huge difference. You barely move the throttle, and it's pretty quick. But if you can get used to that, the throw on the throttle, then you're pretty good at crawling. It does have a nice slow speed control. Just getting used to it is something else. That's a very tight drag brake on it too. Works really good. I'm not complaining on that at all. I can go nice and slow with it now that I'm a little bit more familiar with how the throttle works on it. Now, like I said, it has been raining all day, so the wood that I'm crawling over is very super wet. But look at this thing, trailing it. I mean, it's just climbing over all of this brush that's laying out here, all these leaves. And there's a whole lot more brush out here than what you can actually see. There's a lot of it underneath these leaves. And for a lot of my rigs, this is a very hard spot to drive through and not get tangled up. Usually the pumpkins get stuck, or just like now. It just gets hung up around right there. That stick is just all hung up around the wheel. And it's always these pine cones. It's like the pine cones are my worst enemy down here. If I didn't have pine cones down here, I don't think I'd get hung up hardly at all. There we go. This is a great trail rig, especially with these little bit larger tires. That really helps with the clearance. And that's what I gotta have down here, is the clearance. That's why I really love my high trail. It's got all that clearance on that thing. It just climbs over everything. But this thing is doing very, very good. And right here in my woods here, it seems there's a lot more pine cones and stuff than most of the places I usually go to. Usually it's not this bad. But there's a whole lot of pine trees down here. And I tried this on 3S, and yeah, it's fun. It's really fast, but it's almost too fast, and it loses a lot of the slow speed control. And I have more fun on 2S with it. Maybe if I had it like I was mudding, had a mud track, and you know, I needed that fast speed to get through the mud, that might be okay. But for anything down here trailing wise, I don't think 3S is good for it. Plus the drag brake is so strong, I'd be afraid to go real fast and my finger would just slip on it, and the next thing you know, you're breaking something on it. Because it's a pretty quick little rig as it is. There's top speed there. For its size, that's fast. It's powerful. And I mean, it's just booking it. Great speed for trailing. I mean, it's faster than when I trail. But that means I got extra power, and that's nice. It's a whole lot faster, a lot more powerful than I think any of my 18 scale rigs. Now my Hobby Plus that I just got, the rock van, the gears keep slipping. It's not going, it has too much movement in when you shift the gears with the servo. The plastic mounts that hold the servo in place, they have way too much movement in it. It's not going in the gear right, so I'm just having way too many issues with it. So I actually ordered from RC All-Wheel Drive a 370 motor with their transmission. It's all set up and designed to go on the rock van. So I'm waiting for that to come in. It was around $50. I think it's a good price for everything you get. It's all metal gears, but it'll get rid of my servo. It'll be one single gear, but the thing should go really fast and it should have a lot of torque. On top of it going fast, it's got a lot of slow speed control too when you're going slow. So we will see when I get that. As soon as I get it, I'll make a video on it. And like I said, it's the brand new rock van, the Evo version, the upgraded version. Yeah, I'm not having any luck with the gears in the thing, and I'm not saying they're all like that, but I just know mine was very flexible around the servo, and there wasn't much I can do with it. I mean, I tried everything. I even tried epoxy and literally glued the servo down, and it still didn't help. But enough about that. Let's get this thing rolling. See, this wood is very, very slick. If I can just get up on it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, this is a great little trail truck. I really like it. Very impressed with what I paid for it, being $118, and its capabilities. But of course, I did add these tires. That's all I really did, and I threw a LiPo on it. It comes with a nickel metal hydride, 1100 milliamp hour battery, which it should be plenty powerful enough for the motor. But I always like LiPos, so, and I have so many of them. If you can handle a LiPo, I'm putting one on it. I'm thinking about putting my FlySky GT5 on this one. Debating whether I should do that or not. Maybe it'll give me a little bit more options to adjust the control of the throttle. Just a fun, overall a fun little rig. There we go, no problem at all that time. I believe these wheels and tires really, this thing really benefits from having them. Well, I was trying to back up getting that stick out of it, but I ended up flipping it over. There we go. Let's try that again.